You started off this year
But the
by
one,
saying,
you know why?
I'm going to do less, and now you've done twice as much. You think the world's going to stop if you just say no to people?
I said no to someone and they stopped speaking to me.
Thank
And that
God.
really-
Why don't you send a thank you note?
Send them a thank you note. That was beautifully said, Chris. Today on Through the Lens, strap yourself in. We are taking a trip about people pleasing and how it impacts our life and how it actually is holding us back from the truth. As you can see, Kim is overwhelmed. When we see in this episode, I'll show some later, she literally oversleeps for the first time ever because she has packed her schedule so greatly. But she tells us, hey, if I tell people no, they stop talking to me. Red flag right there. That is the quintessential excuse of why we people please. And the only reason why we care if people stop talking to us is because we think they hold our happiness backpack. If you've watched the Kardashians at all, you know their entire infrastructure of the Kardashians has built on external validation. Them being this entity that everybody would die to be like. Therefore, they want to consume everything that has to do with the Kardashians. So in turn, it's built this lack of ability to find their validation within. Instead, it's based on what they're doing in life and what they're doing for others. Or if they're not doing anything, then they don't mean anything. And Kim says it right there. We would think Kim, of all people, would have the ability to tell people no because she knows her worth within. But she's telling us, hey guys, I struggle to say no. And Chris says something very interesting, and I'm going to turn to that because I think it's a powerful message, whether you believe in the devil or the ego or whatever may be that is lurking in the background, pulling you into that state of fear. So let's tune into that quick.
Ridiculous. Can't imagine.
Well, that would be the only thing in the entire universe that would possibly slow you down the way you've been going lately, honestly. Back in the 80s, at Bible study, the teacher used to say, if the devil can't get you bad, he'll get you busy. And what that meant was just a distraction from everything in your life, yourself.
I'm not like distracting myself from anything.
You don't think so?
No.
Interesting. Back in Bible study in the 1980s, Chris learned that if the devil can't make you bad, he'll make you busy. Well, whether you believe in the devil, the ego, fear, whatever is that driving force that is making you believe that you are meant to sacrifice and live in a place of separation, I would agree. I would agree with her. We are called human beings, but in turn, we have become human doings because only through doing do we feel that we are worthy. And that's why we say yes to people. That's why we do not say no because, first of all, we believe in separation. And if you didn't believe in separation, it wouldn't matter if you told someone no, because it has everything to do with us being one. And if you are draining yourself, you are draining everybody else. When we say yes all of the time, we are immediately saying, I believe in separation, and I believe that I must sacrifice and suffer in order to be worthy. And that is giving away your happiness backpack to what Chris calls the devil, or what may be called the ego belief system, or just to the other person that you believe is standing right next to you, when in fact it has nothing to do with them, my friend. It has everything to do with your own internal dialogue. You're just projecting it out because you're not willing to look at what's going on inside. And Chris says that. She says, the statement really meant that you are distracting yourself. And Kim says, I'm not distracting myself. But is that the truth or is it not? Because I know when I keep my schedule packed as tight as possible so that I have no opportunity to reflect or go internal, it's an immediate red flag and an opportunity to get curious of what the heck am I avoiding? because we only project out, meaning Kim is projecting out her need for validation because she's not providing it within, and she's not willing to do the work to provide it within. So instead, just constantly seek those dopamine hits outside of you of pleasing someone, making them happy, getting a small high off their happiness, but nothing ever sustainable, nothing ever eternal. Let's think of some of the people that are the happiest people on the earth, the most at peace. And I'm not talking about the happiness or the happy duality, the roller coaster of the high highs and the low lows. I'm talking about those people that are, it just is. Well, a lot of them are monks. And they are not doing, they are being. They spend the majority of their day just being fully aware in the moment and being fully present with themselves. They don't even speak. So if the happiest people, or some of the most content people, we'll use that word instead, because I think happiness automatically triggers that elation of happiness, which is actually on the duality roller coaster, my friend, which is still living in that ego belief system. So when we look at that just calm waters, that even keel where it just is, and we have representations of that in the world today, but yet we study them and we still are human doings constantly doing, constantly needing to do more and more and more and more until we have burnt ourselves out so hard that it's like we're in this delusional place. So let's tune in, because Kim shares a moment of that. She packed her schedule so tight that she has this moment in her day that she doesn't even really remember, is it actually happening, or maybe she was dreaming, which we've talked about that before. But let's tune in quick.
You gotta wake up, Faith.
Oh, what time
You just keep sleeping in.
Chris Appleton recorded me in my room. He's like, Kim, you have to get up. I overslept. I've never done this. Like, in my entire career, I am so tired, and my days back to back to back. It's insane. I looked on TikTok and saw me walking up to people, fans that I know and love.
We have a whole men's line coming soon.
Oh my God.
Telling them all of our skim secrets about how we're launching men soon. Actually, no recollection of this.
Yeah, you were out of it.
It's like, felt like a dream. Like, did I go? I thought I dreamt that. Like, this whole morning has been a complete foggy dream.
This whole morning has been a complete foggy dream, is what Kim said. Essentially, she was the farthest from being in the present moment. We are always dreaming. That's why it's so easy for it to replicate that. But really what it is showing is that she is running herself thin. She is on the road to burnout. And the reason why people pleasing will lead to burnout is because you are never filling your own cup, my friend. You are seeking everybody else to give you a little bit of their overflow with into your cup, when the reality is the majority of people don't even have that overflow, and they're not responsible for filling your cup. They're not responsible for filling your happiness backpack. They literally cannot do that. So right now, Kim is running on E. Her happiness backpack has completely deflated, and she has lost it down the streets of New York and has no clue where it is, and she's just floating. She's just floating through the day-to-day, hustling, riding that hamster wheel, and she's starting to feel it. She's starting to feel the impact, but the question is, will she listen to that impact? Often, when we're in that cycle of people-pleasing, it is so freaking hard to get out. And if I was working with Kim, I would recommend a curiosity challenge for her. If I say to you, Kim, hey, say no to the next 5 people. No matter what it is, say no. What comes up within? What kind of anxiety surfaces? And ask yourself why. And keep going deeper and deeper to truly understand that why of why no will ruin you. Because remember, the one thing we are truly afraid of is death, and every single fear, like the fear of saying no, starts out at surface level, but the deeper we go, it really is tied to that fear of death. So I would encourage Kim to do that. Take that curiosity challenge of what comes up when she hears that, and really get curious and dig deep And then the next step, once you've moved through that first level of anxiety and understanding and awareness and curiosity, is to say no. Say no to even the smallest of things, because when we start to say no to small things that don't feel very impactful, we're again practicing that muscle of seeking our own internal validation, because we are freeing up small pockets of space where we actually have to sit and validate ourselves. We have to go within and remember what we truly are, which is eternal love and peace. And it is not necessary to place our happiness backpack on anyone else, but that we are very well of being fully abundant of that eternal peace and happiness within ourselves. Say no to something small, my friend. If someone says, hey, do you want tacos tonight? Say no. Even if you wanted tacos, start testing it out and allowing that space and that opportunity to really stand in your own and realize that you can fill your own happiness backpack. That was the trip today with our favorite family, the Kardashians, Kim especially. I hope today's trip was helpful for you, especially as we enter into the holiday season where people pleasing is going to be at an all-time high. And I encourage you to take a step back, realize you are one, and do not play into the narrative of separation and that you can't be responsible for your own happiness backpack. What do you think about Kim? Do you think she'll burn herself out? Comment below. And have you ever entered burnout because of people pleasing? As always, make sure to like, subscribe, set up your notifications to go on a weekly trip with us. And my friend, remember, you are worth it. Much love. Bye.